EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live first-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Beautiful day here at the TPC Boston in Norton, Massachusetts. This is the site of the Deutsche Bank Championship, part of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Rich Slaughter alongside Frank Nobilo.
And a fun golf course in front of us today, too. Really carved out of this wonderful New England landscape. 92 bunkers adorn the golf course, and, well, we are in New England, so you'd expect a little bit of weather. We might get a little bit of rain, maybe a little bit of wind, but golf course built and certainly plays well in any condition.
26, here's a bit of a fade.
Good tempo and rhythm on that swing. That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Right in the heart of the fairway. Green light special. Vijay Singh, Charlie Hoffman, and Big Henrik Stenson. They all have one thing in common. They all tied for the low tournament score at TPC Boston, 22 under.
And they're all good. Yeah, this is a golf course that obviously gives in to the longer hitters. And if there's just a little bit of sting taken out of the greens, then these long hitters have a huge advantage.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Not a gimme, but well within his range. And who knows? It is a 4-round tournament, setting himself up for a good weekend, maybe a great one. The young star makes his birdie. Seems to like it. Headed for the back part of the green. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. And getting ready for the putt. Right off the edge.
Just a fraction softer, then it might have just turned in.
This putt for par. Been a little too much of that, Frank. Just sort of ho-hum pars. Real golfers, by the way, do not eat tuna sandwiches at the turn. They eat a hot dog, right?
Well, yeah, but if you make a mess of 9, then you're making hamburgers. He's loading up on it.
Look at the coil there. Just burning rubber right here. I mean, this one is taking off like a missile.
Just destroyed it. He's going to try and rip the cover off it.
Wow, Frank, that was an absolute bomb right there.
Yeah, what's longer than long? Because we just saw it.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Just a couple of feet. And with that birdie, moving into the top 20 on the leaderboard. Excellent front side, trying to keep it going here on the second nine.
He's just playing beautifully, hitting so many good shots, giving himself so many opportunities. Can he keep it going?
Those are good numbers right there. 3-2-0, 320 yards, just crushed it in the fairway. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
It's at sneaky distance.
You can't leave it short, Frank.
Oh, and especially right in the middle.
I missed it right.
Clean this up with a tap. With authority, count it as a par and 2 under. Frank, here at the 11th, that is a massive bunker guarding the front right side of this green.
And every now and again a tee shot plugs in there, making that second shot just absolutely horrible.
That will be a great look at birdie. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Wow, that was so close, Frank.
Just time to forget that one. I mean, he couldn't hit that much better.
Getting set now over the putt. Has it. He's 2 under par. Well, Frank, as they say up here in New England, that wraps up another wicked good round.
Yeah, you've just played one of the best golf courses up in the New England area, and it was the best time of the year to play it.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Boston Championship. Just amazing what they're able to do with that golf swing. Hit it so far at that size. Not overly big, but man, can really move it a long ways. Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Nice birdie and a nice little move on the leaderboard, getting to 2 under par. Well, Frank, this is a tasty par 3. 231 yards. The 11th is all you want.
Yeah, there's a mound in the middle of this green. You can use that, so you can either pitch the ball into that, let it roll back towards the flag, or even if the flag's on the back, you make 3 here, just walk straight away to the 12.
Early part of this second 9, a good approach shot. Now, pretty good chance for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Frank, I'm sure it feels good to get some red numbers on the card, but this tournament is probably too far out of reach at this point.
No question.
Moving on now to the 12th, and Frank, describe this hole for us.
Sneaky good par 4. It's long enough, you know, sort of that 450, 460 mark. Bends a little to the left. Really, you want to be in the middle of the fairway here, because that second shot with the green just tilts towards the hazard. One of the toughest second shots you have on the golf course.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Go right
This one's looking good. Well, that's how you play the game, right there. So a tester from 4 feet. Moves into the top 25 with that birdie. Frank, par 4 13. Just swing away with that big stick with the driver.
Big advantage if you've got another 10 or 15 yards left in the bag here. If you can carry that left side, you certainly shorten this hole up.
Good contact, good result. Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, we were commenting earlier in the day that this round had really gone wrong. Are you surprised that he's been able to put it back together?
Oh, certainly. I mean, he'd lost his composure, his rhythm. So really to be playing this well so quickly after that, tip your hat.
Always a chance in this game. Birdie try up next.
That might go unnoticed, Rich, but that birdie just sneak inside the top 15.
Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Boston Championship. We're ready to go. Off to the first hole. Frank, it's a different feeling on the first tee on a weekend. Third round of a championship like this than, say, on the first round, isn't it?
You know you've got the grips of the golf course. You know the holes that are birdieable out there. More importantly, too, you know how well you're playing. It's all in front of you. Sport, especially like this at the highest level.
Frank couldn't ask for anything more.
Just a lie there, too. It is sitting up like it's teed up.
Ready for his second shot, trying to knock it on the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. He's making the game look very simple right now. See it, hit it, and he's got it right on track. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
He'd settle for par here. Just a little tap in here. Did the job right there. Par 5 second hole, 540 yards. Birdie opportunity, Frank.
Birdie or eagle, but that second shot all the way across water. So you're going to have to hit a good tee shot to go for this par 5 and 2.
Okay, you can carry that bunker. There we go.
I mean, that is one of the hardest drives I've ever seen. Just let it rip. Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
That is a sweet swing, like an easy breeze on a nice summer day.
Second shot.
Hang it out over the water.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Shouldn't be a problem here. Well, hello there. That's an eagle.
Might be languishing in the middle of the pack, but really celebrate that.
Frank, really nice mix of holes here to start TPC Boston. The third, it's a par 3, about 210 yards.
Yeah, nice brick wall over the back, sort of give that look like it's been there for 100 years. But another one, really, you have to fly this ball on the green. There's no chance of running it up.
Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Made par yesterday. This one for birdie. That is some good work right there. Birdie and one shot closer to the lead. Frank, as a commentator, as a fan of the game, 3 words that I love in golf. Drivable, par 4, here we go.
Yeah, some might say risk reward. Just look at that bunker on the left at the front of the green, because that's a great place to miss if you're not going to drive this green. Either that or just over the back right. But a par 4, that's definitely worth taking the head cover off. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Settles in, looking to knock it in tight. Frank, still relatively early in the round, but given what we've seen so far, this could be a heck of a golf round.
Yeah, right now, everything's just going according to plan. It's like he's playing on all 8 cylinders. So really, you're just trying to get out of your own way.
This from about 10 feet. Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
He has this attempt for par. That's a solid par. Still in it, Frank. Good third round, Frank, and a good spot heading to the final 18.
Yeah, to be in the top 5 right now, the caliber of this field, know that your game is good enough too, and a legitimate chance of taking home the trophy come tomorrow night. This really is what all those hours on the range contribute to, this moment right now.
EA Sports and the PGA Tour proudly present the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Boston Championship. Always nice to be in New England at this time of year at the TPC Boston in Massachusetts. We're about 25 miles south of Beantown, and this is a really good-looking golf course, Frank.
It is. It looks much older than what it is. It was first established just at the start of the new millennium, originally designed by Arnold Palmer. But it got that older look from Gil Hanse and Brad Faxon. But also, too, you know, if you're racking up a few points out there, or score, should I say, remember Gillette Stadium, home of the Patriots, just down the road. It's time for a little extra. Ball just took off the face. Smoked that one.
Wow, Frank, that was an absolute bomb right there.
Yeah, what's longer than long? Because we just saw it.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie.
Which has been a very good workmanlike performance. Yet another birdie.
Into the top 15 on the leaderboard. Frank, after a couple of par fours where you just sort of let it go with the driver, different strategy here at the 15th?
Yeah, you don't want to get carried away here. This is one where just a nice smooth swing, get that ball in the fairway. And that second shot, you've got to carry that false front.
Frank, did you hear the sound of that coming off the club face?
It was like a cannon.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Frank, you played in conditions all over the world. Here come the winds now. What's the mindset?
Well, this is really what separates the men from the boys. This is where you've got to tell yourself, and it's an advantage to you. Obviously, the scores will go up a little bit, given the conditions. But once again, this is going to suit the stronger player today.
You like the old phrase, swing easy when it's breezy?
Definitely when you're hitting it into a head breeze. But if down breeze, tee it up a little bit, try and ride that wind some more.
Well, he's going for back-to-back birdies here, trying to jumpstart this round.
Some momentum moving in the right direction. That was cruel. It looked like it was certainly going in.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Frank, here at the 16th, you really see this sort of New England character, don't you?
Yeah, that stone wall now protects that sort of two-tiered green. And it sort of showcases the golf course. It just fits in beautifully with what Hanse and Faxon have done to the golf course.
Hoping to get this up and down here, Frank, at the par 3 after missing the green.
It's not all bad.
So he didn't hit the green in regulation, but he still has a reasonably good chance to save his par, about 10 feet away. These putts keep the round together. Well, Frank, you hear it so often. This is a game of dealing with your miscues.
That's the beauty of this game of golf. It giveth and it taketh away.
Continues to roll the ball very well. Frank, 412 yards on the card doesn't look like a whole lot, but
it can play a little longer because really you've got to play it down the right. Don't play it as a dog leg. Just go point A and then point B.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Second shot, good look at the green. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Safely aboard. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Well, you could see he thought he had that.
It looked in the whole way until the end. Even par, currently.
Good putt. On to the 18th and a big par 5 to finish out the round.
Yeah, fun way. Let's see. Course record 61. What can you do here?
Just pulverize that golf ball.
Long and straight.
That's how you do it. That's a good start to the hole, right down the middle.
Second shot.
Oh, boy. Can't cup it.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Yep.
Into the thick stuff. That's a difficult lie. Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
So that concludes the final round here at this spectacular setting. Frank, final thoughts on the tournament?
Rich, I thought this was really a fantastic venue that challenged the players. And we saw some exciting golf out there all across the board.
Oh, 11. Oh, well, still in the lead.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. Frank, there really is nothing quite like it. The old course at St. Andrews. And you know the old course is old when the new course is 100 years old. You know you're in a place that is bathed in history.
Yeah, the fact that they can't really figure out who exactly designed the old course, it just evolved. And the true, if you look at a scorecard, the fact that you go out and in, it's designed purely around St. Andrews because 9 holes are out, then you turn around in the loop and come all the way back to the clubhouse. So the amazing thing is you actually can, if you get lucky, play 9 holes with the wind behind you, and if fortunately with the tide it turns, you can get 9 holes with the wind at your back as well.
That's in the fairway. Frank, on the second shot here at this first hole, a player will get a good sense of the winds here and how they can play a role at the old course.
And they'll also get a good sense of exactly how punishing this golf course can be, and with such the smallest things. For example, that burn is only about 3 or 4 yards across, and yet it is punishing to say the least.
On the green, and a chance for birdie here on the first hole. Never a doubt, looking to make a statement today. Here we are now at the second. Always so important to try and establish a good round in these opening holes, Frank.
In the second hole, especially with a prevailing breeze and today's modern equipment, the odd player has actually driven this green, but you really see the tone of the golf course. The middle of the golf course is protected. There's a series of bunkers down there, but the left is always the safe side of the golf course. It's the best line to play your second shot from on the whole golf course is always the right side, and we see that here at the second.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Good swing, good shot yet again. So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot. Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Not a real hard game, is it? Birdie to open. Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky. That's an absolute beauty.
Chance to set himself up for a good scoring opportunity with his second shot here. And that's how you play the game, right there. Frank, this would jumpstart the round. A third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Well done. Another birdie, and now 3 under par. Frank now at the fourth hole.
Yeah, long par 4. 2 choices, whether he's game enough to drive it down the right or down the left, which is a much wider piece of fairway.
Ideal position, sitting up perfectly. Still from 141 yards out, it's a green light special. I really love the caddies at St. Andrews, wisecracking old timers. Guy hits a shot hard into a gorse bush on the left, and he turns to the caddy and says, "Is that okay?" And the caddy says, "Does it look okay? Hit another one." Another instance, guy was stuck between 2 clubs. 6-iron, 7-iron, 6-iron, 7-iron, back and forth. Finally, he chose the 7-iron, hit it about 15 yards in the ground, and the caddy looked at him and said, "I guess we'll never know, laddie, will we?" Has this one for par. Did the job right there. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. this fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Oh, he is winding this one up. Does he have the power?
Just burning rubber right here. I mean, this one is taken off like a missile.
Just destroyed it. He's going to try and rip the cover off it.
Right where they were aiming, in the fairway. Okay, the second shot now at this par 5. This one looks right on point. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. You have to like that. 4 under. Now at the 6th, not a particularly long hole, Frank, par 4.
Yeah, semi-blind tee shot. You've got an idea where you want to hit, but there's a series of 3 bunkers. They're called the coffins down the left side, as well as some pop bunkers down the right. So this requires a very accurate tee shot.
Well, this one's sweet, Frank.
Super.
And now it's right in his wheelhouse. Good position where he can attack the pin.
Yeah, he has all those options now. With that ball sitting up, you can bring it in high, you can bring it in low. The choice is yours.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. And Frank, the train is rolling down the tracks right now.
You just check another one off.
Over the ball here at the 7th. And Frank, if you had to script a game plan here, what would it look like?
You could drive this pretty close to the green. This is a green that's shared with the 11th, the par 3. And so you won't see that tee shot finish, but you can actually drive very, very close to a bunker called the shell, which is the one that protects the par 3 11th.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Second shot from the rough. It's on the way. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game. You know what's better than 2 birdies in a row?
What's that?
3. That's what he's going for.
That's a turkey in bowling, isn't it?
He's no turkey.
Frank, now at the par 3 8th, and how challenging is this hole?
Well, it's called short on the scorecard, but massive green. The problem here is trying to hit it close. A lot of little subtle breaks and undulations in this green, and often you see long, long birdie putts here.
Good, clean contact and a nice result, and a chance for birdie coming up.
Really. This is that awkward length.
Starting to fill it up now. 2 birdies in a row and 7 under for the championship. Always so important to finish your first 9 holes on a positive note here at the Open Championship.
Yeah, the 9th hole, this is the most extreme part, furthest away from the clubhouse, in the middle of the loop here. A good drive, though, that avoids those bunkers has every chance of finding this par 4 with your tee shot.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
I mean, that's how the game is played, right there.
He's just making it look so easy. That birdie coming up, formality.
Moves to -8. Setting up to start the back 9 here, and if it's anywhere near as good as the front 9, Frank Hill will be very happy with his score at the end of the day.
Yeah, the hardest thing right now is to just keep doing the same thing without focusing on the score.
In the fairway here at the 10th, nice way to start off the back nine. Setting up for another approach, our featured golfer has continued that excellent play from earlier in the round.
Indeed, there's no better feeling in the world than when you know you're firing on all cylinders. Hitting fairways, second shot's just going straight at the flag. Right now, everything is working.
I mean, you just don't see this too often. How about 9 birdies on the card today? What a round. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reason why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
That can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Frank, this is one of the great displays of golf I've seen all year long. This would be a 7th straight. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now at the 12th, and Frank, when you put the peg in the ground here, are you licking your chops?
Well, you are, unless you're playing into a head breeze. Because if you are playing a head breeze, then you've got to worry about the 4 bunkers that are in the middle of this fairway. Touch of help, or if you're a long hitter, then all you've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker just short of this green. There is gorse left and right.
Drivable par 4, not for most in this field, but for this guy, yes, he has just knocked it on. What a shot. Locked in on the read and the speed. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one. Rich, I'm starting to lose count. This is just birdie after birdie.
It's all-time stuff. I mean, this is territory we just don't visit very often. Here at the par 4 13th hole at the old course, Frank, what's the best play, power, or do you go with precision?
Well, you'd like a nice mixture of both there, Rich. If you can take those coffins out of play, that's the name for those series of bunkers sort of down the middle, then obviously you've got a much shorter shot coming in, and then you've got a chance to actually have a full view of this green.
Can't ask for much more. Right in the fairway here at 13. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. This is a good-looking shot. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Well, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
And this will be a 5-foot putt here. Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, what are we looking at here at the big par 5 14?
Out of bounds on the right, and those little series of pot bunkers called the birdies. Now, if you get in trouble here, you can bail out with your second shot down the left, which is the 4th fairway. That's one other option of playing this par 5. But a good tee shot, and you can certainly go at this for 2.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards. Chance to get it close here. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
You'll love them, the birdies, and that's another one. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot, just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy second shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4 15th. Very good par 4. Second shot.
That's how you play the game, right there. Stick it in close and then knock in the birdie. This one just requires a little bit of focus. This has a good ring to it, -14. 16th hole is a par 4 here at the old course, Frank, with another one of those sort of funky features.
Yes, a series of 3 bunkers called the Principal's Nose, plus that out of bounds on the right. So really err on the side of caution, avoiding both the out of bounds and the Principal's Nose. Nothing wrong with going a little bit left here. But the further left you go, then it makes that second shot that much harder, because you'll have to bring it across that little pot bunker in the front with the wing.
Second shot, good look at the green.
This looks like it's going to find the target.
Really good distance control there, playing well to his strengths. Shouldn't be a problem here. He's made it. All right, Frank, at other par 4, it's the 16th. Players trying to make their way to the house, standing up in one piece. What's the best way to get at this hole?
Well, the normal player would actually try and hit the ball down the left. I've seen the odd player try and hit it down that out of bounds line and sort of flash it down the right side, but really there's not much of an advantage, Rich, unless you're the longest hitter in the business. So a little short and a little left of the Principal's Nose is a nice setup for the second shot here at 16.
Frank, that is position A.
Yeah, the tee shot was like silk, Rich. I mean, just sets up that second shot so beautifully.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot.
Oh, how did that miss?
Are you kidding me? I mean, that one was dead center. Frank, here at the 18th, so much history has been made through the years.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories, I remember Jack Nicklaus when he beat Doug Sanders in that playoff. The famous sort of short putt that Doug Sanders missed. But really, the great moment that stands out was Seve making that 15-footer across the hill in 1984 wearing the blue sweater. Not only did he win the Open Championship, but he beat a tremendous field that included Bernard Langer, Tom Watson, Fred Couples, Lanny Wadkins, Faldo, and Greg Norman. It was an amazing Open Championship.
And I love that fist pump. It was pure Seve, all that fire, all that passion came flying out. And that's where you just sort of fell in love with the game. This is for his birdie. Beautifully done. That's a birdie.
2 pars.
Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
There. Time for bed. Good night, everybody.